This video is brought to you by JingleMine.com. Founded in Hong Kong but located throughout the world, they are one of the leading ASIC mining distributors out there. They have a strong relationship with Jazz Miner, which means that they can provide you the best price and the latest info or updates for your Jazz Miner. Additionally, they work hard to respond to customer inquiries or questions, providing 24/7 support and have one of the fastest deliveries in the ASIC industry. Some of their products include the Jazz Miner X4-QZ, which can hit 840 mega hash at 340 watts while being whisper quiet, and I can vouch for that. And the new X16-Q is on pre-sale now and can hit 1.8 gigahash at only 630 watts on ETC hash. Lastly, they accept a number of cryptocurrencies as payment, so if you're interested, check out the link in the description and help support our channel by supporting its partners.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride my alts down to all-time lows. I'm gonna buy till I can't no more. I'm gonna buy these alts cause they're oversold. I'm gonna buy till I can't no more. I got my altcoins by the bag, emotionally attached. Throw them on my back, got my ledger on my neck. Buying all these shit coins, you can keep your Bitcoin. I am broke as hell, but I will never sell. I'm never selling nothing. I'm not selling nothing. I'm never selling nothing. I'm not selling nothing. Up all night on Binance, ask me for my financial advice, and if I'm nice, I'll tell you what to buy next. FOMO by the pump, panic sell the dump. I'll be holding bags cause I'm never missing my chance. I'm never selling nothing. I'm not selling nothing. Yeah, I'm sold. I'm gonna buy till I can't no more. Litecoin, Bitcoin, Zilliqa and Icon, V-Chain, Verge, I can buy them on my iPhone. Yeah, I gotta have it, gotta have all the low stats. Buy it all time high, to my surprise I never go back. No more FUD, we've been through all that. Everybody knows that the tether is backed. Wish we could pump back up to those all-time highs. I wanna sell at the top this time. Gonna ride my alts down to all-time lows. I'm gonna buy till I can't no more.
Hey, hey, hey. I had to do it for my guy. He's cool as hell. I check him out every once in a while. Good morning, everybody. Afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to another episode of Caffeine Crypto, where I welcome you to join me with your favorite caffeinated beverage of choice, coffee, energy drink, whatever the heck you like, tea. If you don't like coffee or caffeine, get some water and join us for some crypto news as we have an unfortunate week. Wow. You know, honestly, I think the SEC has done more damage to my wallets or my bags than FTX has, which is odd, right? Because FTX took us down pretty damn hard. But it's all the alts, right? It's all the S coins that are getting hit hard. Bitcoin just seemed to like do, right? But it's people getting out of the altcoins and into Bitcoin. Exactly what I'm doing. So everybody's doing the same thing. Get out of the coins that the SEC mentioned and get into the main coins that the SEC didn't mention. Where's the safe ground? Whatever the top hill is, go there. That's basically what's happening. And we did hit some significant levels. You could see a couple of legacy lines here. I mean, if we were to fall past 25.3, the next level is 25.4. Somewhere in the mid 21 something, excuse me. So 25.3. Seems like we bounced off of it. If I move out of your damn way. And then 21, mid 21K, somewhere in there. And then there's nothing really legacy that's holding us back all the way to almost 18K. Or holding us up, excuse me, not back. So if we zoom in, we basically bounced almost off of this legacy line right here. I could have this line a little bit wrong. It probably could be a little bit up, but it goes way back, way back, way back. Like previous Bitcoin, charts and shit. And yeah, it bounced pretty good, but now we fell out of this wedge or this range, and I have no idea. I have no idea. So good luck. If you got a crystal ball and you know what crypto's gonna do, good luck. Because all it takes is good old Gary Gensler to ruin the day. You know, it looked like we were gonna go back and like get above this wedge and start climbing up. And you know, of course, that didn't happen. And then G dropped the news. Good old G. Right here. And you can see that big drop. Bitcoin pumped right back up. And all the other alts, if we look at CoinMarketCap, just continue downward. Like all the coins that were named, like Binance, right? Look at the chart for Binance compared to, right? So step down, big step down on the SEC news, flat curve around $230 something dollars. That hit my bags pretty hard. I'm not gonna lie, that hit my bags pretty hard. Because I use BNB to facilitate trades on the Binance Smart Chain, buy, Floki, Pancake Swap, whatever it might be, on the DeFi. And it looks like Gary's going to go after DeFi too, man. It looks like Gary's trying to go hard in the paint right now. And I don't know what he's going to do, what he's going to say. And realistically, I don't think any of that's going to change until we get newly elected officials in office. And that's not going to happen until next year. So we'll see how the song goes, man. But all I could say is I'm not selling. Because if I sell now at most of these coins low spots, I'm screwing myself, right? So we have Bitcoin take another dip. But it didn't. It recovered, just not recovered to exactly where it was prior. Like you see how this one recovered right back to where it was, maybe a little bit higher after the news, and then dip back down because people are probably moving their funds off of exchanges, which they are. They're not probably, they are. They're moving it off of Binance, Crypto.com, Robinhood, Coinbase. Like the U.S. is about to have no exchanges at this rate. Because they're all going to go overseas. But yeah, BNB, you can see the chart just continuously down. Cardano, it's kind of the same thing. Any of the coins named in the SEC filings. Solana, just down, man. Just down. So some of the coins are not following. Like, look, obviously Wrap Bitcoin followed that. Let's see here. Let's compare Ethereum. So Ethereum did that exact same crap. Down, sideways for a sec, back up to original levels. Follow Bitcoin, and then dip again recently with Bitcoin. The rest of these coins that are listed on the SEC filing are not following Bitcoin anymore. People are liquidating and getting the F out, which is why I played the little bubble song. So Bitcoin's price avoids 3 months lows as crypto dives liquidity $300 million. Thank you, Retro Mike, for the 5 sub giveaway or 5 membership giveaway. It's not sub. It's not Twitch, Chris. Come on. Appreciate that. Thank you, everybody, for coming over from Crypto Mining. Crypto Mining. Crypto Mikkel. Crypto Mining Mikkel. He is a crypto miner, but no. Seb, good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Paul D. Alexander. Automatic Beats. Fudweiser. Network Bits Crypto. Crypto Pounder 4. Is there a 3, 2, and a 1? Just curious. Were there previous? Saddy sometimes. I hope you're saddy all the time. I'm joking. I hope you're happy all the time. Yeah, looks like we had a lot of people on today. We got Hobbyist Miner that went live with Seb, FinTech, Crypto Bedell, Magic Lucky, Chris Hanley, Golden Wolf. Jeez, Louise, got a lot of people in here. Good deal. All right, bacon, eggs, and hash. I love that. Keep coming and hang out. Thank you so much for stopping by, guys. Let's go on with the news. I did say guests are welcome, but I didn't open Discord like an idiot. So if you're in Discord, let me know in the live chat. But yeah, I'm just let's focus on the news and keep it rocking while I have the energy. Before I get distracted. Obviously, yeah, man. Same thing as we were just talking about right here. The chart dipped, came back up, and dipped again. People are consolidating, contracting, right? They're taking their S coins and moving it into solid coins like Bitcoin, dude. Cardano. Oh my gosh, Cardano. Why SEC? Why? Like that was one of my. That's that. All right. Full transparency. That's one of my biggest holdings. That's one of my biggest holdings, and the SEC just wrecked me harder than FTX wrecked. And that's because I wasn't in FTX. So like, you're saying you're trying to save and protect investors or the U.S. consumers, but your actions are doing the exact opposite. Now, time out. Binance did some wrong shit. Okay? Binance commingled funds. People warned them that, hey, what they were doing was not in compliance with the United States and the regulations. We're trading XYZ. We're not registered as a broker or dealer or whatever the something house. What is it? Lending house? No. I don't know what the terms are, but you know what I'm talking about. Their own staff for Binance warned them, hey, this might not be right. Like, yo, we might need to do something about this. And if they got that evidence, the SEC's got a strong case, man. Like, I wouldn't doubt before the FTX collapse that Binance was 100% commingling funds, completing fraud, and doing all kinds of... I would not disagree whatsoever. But I'm pretty sure after FTX, I would hope these exchanges realized that what they were doing could get them in big trouble, and they stopped. But if they have evidence from 2018, 2017, previous years, showing the exchange did XYZ, knew that the cryptocurrency would have been classified as a security because their leadership, financial advisor, whoever advised them, hey, guess what? We're going to get hit with a fine if we don't fix this. And they didn't, and they ignored it. Then, yeah, that's your own dumbass fault. That's why I always say, in the corporate world especially, you always want to CYA. Cover your ass, right? Always document things. Always make sure that it's preserved somewhere. Emails are good. Texting, not so much, because people will even if I told you via text. Oh, I didn't get the text. And, then you got to court order their, subpoena their cell phone records. Always cover your rear. Make sure everything you do is documented in some form or fashion, so that way it doesn't become he said, she said. It's straight there documented. I warned you, you were doing wrong, you knew you were doing wrong, and you still neglected to resolve. So if they were doing something stupid, that's on them. It just sucks, because this is honestly the reason why Satoshi, when the FBI requested to speak with wasn't Hal Finney. Oh my goodness, why am I forgetting his name? When back in the day, early days of Bitcoin, wow, is it Hal? No, it's not Hal. I can't remember his name. You guys know his name. Anyways, the FBI wanted to have a sit down. Satoshi took his name off the website, took his name off the Bitcoin talk threads, took off his contact information. Everything was off. He just disappeared because he knew once Bitcoin kind of entered into the natural fold, the natural world, that it was going to be used for illicit gains or some stupid stuff. Now, Silk Road, yeah, okay. Kids were buying drugs and guns and all kinds of stupid stuff. I'm not gonna lie. Participating in very illicit activities and downright disrespectful and disgraceful activities. I'm not gonna lie, that was definitely a crazy time when Silk Road, it still is. It's still out there. I'm not gonna tell you the website. I'm not gonna tell you where to go. I'm not gonna tell you how to get there, but it's still out there. It's not called Silk Road, but as soon as the FBI wanted us to have a sit down, he knew something was coming, and he did not want to be a part of it. He didn't want the creation to go into the hands of the centralized entities, whether it was corporations, government, federal organizations. It did not matter. So now it has, and we're seeing what happens and why he didn't want that. And this is exactly what's happening. Centralized entities are screwing it up. They're ruining the name of cryptocurrency because they're producing these S coins out of thin air, pumping them up, rugging the users, or commingling funds, or whatever they want to do in this day and age. And they're doing it bad. They're doing it bad, and they're giving the crypto industry, let's say that, not cryptocurrency, the crypto industry, because there's a wide net. There's so many various aspects of crypto now. It's not just proof of work. It's not just proof of stake. It's Web3. It's a whole ecosystem. They're giving us a bad name. I will tell you one thing though, guys. Let's go pull up that list that the SEC has. Let's go pull up that list, and then I'll bring you guys back. So SEC, what is it? List of cryptocurrencies that are a security. Okay. Where's that list at? Okay, so the SEC lawsuit against Binance, the regulatory agency labeled these tokens as securities. Cosmos, Atom, another token that I love. Damn it. Binance. I had a bag. Binance USD. Whatever, I don't care. Cody. I know some people that did. Chili's, Near, Flow, Internet Computer, Voyager token, Dash, Nexo. Then we also have tokens traded on both platforms, Binance and Coinbase. Solana. Dang it, man. Not a big bag, but it was a bag. Polygon. Yes, that was a nice bag. That's probably my 5th largest holdings. That really screwed me. That screwed me, the regular guy that's trying to make it in life and trying to build financial wealth for his family. That screwed me. So your actions to try to, I don't know. Hopefully they can fix it, and hopefully we can get back to where we used to be. Because that really hurts. And again, selling right now, even converting it into Bitcoin, I would be converting it at such a significant loss as almost no point. Filecoin, Sand, Mana, Algorand, and Axie Infinity. Now, what's one thing, except for this one, right? Except for Dash, what other coin is there? What is one thing that these coins don't have except for Dash? Let's just take Dash off the list, and you tell me right now, what is it that they all have in common? What's interesting, Magic Lucky says, what's interesting is ICP was named as security. Flux is a direct competitor to ICP. Wondering if Flux will ever get big enough that the SEC goes after it too. I think if any cryptocurrency will get big enough, yes. The SEC will go after it. As long as Gary Gensler's in charge, 100% yes. But can you guys guess what I am talking about? They're not proof of work. Most of the coins that the SEC is going after is not proof of work. Why not? Well, proof of work currencies tend to be decentralized with no central entity or control over them, unless the project manager's on Twitter, got a website, and is giving away his public profile and LinkedIn and house number and cell phone number. Usually, most of these projects are decentralized with no real true owner, community-driven, and you can't really go to somebody's location, corporation, house, and be like, here's a subpoena, or here's a filing, or here's a suit, because there's nobody to do that, right? There's nobody that controls Bitcoin. So most of the coins the SEC are going after are not proof-of-work currencies except for Dash, obviously. So that's a good thing for miners because, well, we mostly dabble in what? Proof-of-work currencies. Now, Ethereum is not proof-of-work. It used to be proof-of-work. Now, I hope they're talking about this Dash. I know there's a bunch of Dash, so many different cryptocurrencies. But yeah, this Dash right here, which we can most certainly mine. And I wonder why I thought that. I wonder why Dash is a security. I gotta do some more research on that. I gotta figure out why Dash is a security. Why this got listed. I would like to know. If you have information on that, hit me up on Twitter, at me, super chat, all that stuff. But yeah, most of the coins that are on here are not mineable, is the point I'm trying to make. Which is a good thing for us. The miners. Just sucks because all the other cryptocurrencies are like, I like to spread my weight, right? I like to have different bags of different things, different projects that I like because of XYZ fundamentals, right? Whether it's the dev team, the roadmap, the goals. Like Cardano's been doing nothing but building. They haven't really blown up because they're just focused on building to develop and make this infrastructure better and good for the future. And this kind of just like, I know Charles went off on some, he had to have gone off on some video. I haven't seen it yet. But yeah, just sucks. Just sucks. They say they're trying to protect us, but I think they're doing more harm than good. However, again, if Binance or Coinbase or anybody who's being chased by the SEC was doing illicit or illegal activities, knowing the rules full and well, and their advisors telling them that they knew the rules, but then they ignored it anyways, or commingling funds, or whatever the evidence brings to bear, then yeah, that's on them, man. That's on them. You would expect, come on, CZ, Sam Bankman-Fried, Brian Armstrong, come on, guys. You guys know better than this shit. But when they're going to the SEC or whoever to gain clarity, and they're not responding with information or trying to help them, but just slapping them with fines and lawsuits, then that's not really helping the ecosystem either. So there needs to be this mutual working together, and that's really the world we're in now, unfortunately. And it pisses me off is everybody's just selfish, trying to stab each other in the back to get over on each other. Like, what happened to help thy neighbor, man? Like, what happened to this world? Like, can we go back to like the late 90s, early 2000s? That shit was popping. Now it's just a bunch of shit, and it's just BS. It's just annoying. But I don't know. Maybe that's what the old people thought about us when we were growing up. Music we were listening to, the clothes we were wearing, Jinko jeans, all that bull crap. Skater vibe, surfer vibe, whatever you want to call it. Old people probably looking at us like, what the heck is this world turning into? And now look at the world. But yeah, it definitely we need to sit back and see how this goes, man. Obviously CZ in his own words says ignore the FUD. You can ignore the FUD, but the fear is that I won't be able to get my assets off of your exchange because the SEC is locking it down. And Binance US, I believe, stopped withdrawals or USD deposits. Robinhood did the same thing. What's going to happen with Coinbase? Like, this is a lot of uncertainty and doubt. And there's definitely fear. Let's actually check the fear and greed index in a minute. But yeah, so I'm gonna do a poll question real quick. There's a lot of cryptocurrency, probably people cashing out and moving into straight USD, not USDT, not USDC, actually converting it to fiat, just so they can sit on the sidelines and watch the market drop and then pick it back up. But yeah, it's definitely a stormy time in the crypto industry. Binance is the number one exchange. Coinbase is not too far behind. And if we lose these top two exchanges in the U.S., we're not going to have much, guys. If the U.S. loses these two exchanges, we're not going to have much. Kraken already moved, I think, offshore. Bittrex moved. There is really no other U.S.-based cryptocurrency exchange except for Gemini. And if we go to Gemini, what are their options? Like, what are the cryptocurrencies I could trade on there? Not a whole lot. Not every single thing that I would want to establish in or be in is basically what it goes down to. And look, Chili's is on here. So is the SEC going to go after Gemini? Like, what else? What else was filed? Let's see here. Algorand's probably going to be on here. Whoa. I hit the game button. Whoops. That's cool. Windows G. Dang it. Control F is what I want. I'll go. Okay, so Algorand's not on there. What else was on there? Let's say ICP. Internet computer. Nope, not on there. So Solana's on there. That was another one. I'm surprised Chainlink wasn't listed. I mean, I'm not trying to get them listed. Sandbox is on there. So, like, every exchange, Polygon's on there. Every exchange that's listing these tokens, is the SEC going to go after them? Like, is Gemini registered as all three that they want Binance and Coinbase to be? Like, I don't want to draw attention to it. I really don't want the SEC, the Bloodhound, to go after everybody. I just want them to provide clarity and make sure that these mofos aren't doing stupid things with people's money. Because when you do stupid things with people's money, that you're going to cause this contagion to spread even further. Right? Who else has been involved in this? But yeah. Let's see here. Enabling, if not facilitating wash trading on Binance US and improperly moving customers' funds without consent and a host of other issues. Yeah, there's a bunch that's gonna come to light with this whole situation. Don't follow me about updates on that. I will try to keep up with it, but Altcoin Daily does a really good job. Wendy is very passionate lady. Crypto Wendy O, very passionate lady, who usually stays on the up and up as far as information. If you want more unbiased takes on it, maybe Crypto Zombie, K-Dub, Altcoin Daily are those two most. Well, Crypto Zombie is just a regular guy like us. Yes, he's been around as far as not a crypto miner, but crypto space for a while. And he kind of provides an unbiased, objective view of the whole situation. Altcoin Daily, I've seen him promote certain projects that obviously they were paid for, and it kind of didn't turn out, like, not all of them turned out well, but some of them turned out well. So it just I take their news. I don't take what they're offering, like their cryptocurrencies that they're offering in different projects. Now, some of their projects are valuable or have value to them, but it's just not something I like to get into as a miner slash tech entrepreneur. Those are more like Web3 NFT type stuff that I'm not really that deep into. And Wendy, again, she's just very passionate. She will rip your heart out and then hug you all at the same time, but she will tell you the truth. She is 100% real, and don't mess with her. Don't piss her off. That's all I gotta say. She's wonderful as hell. Stay on her good side. But let's do a poll. Let's do a poll here. So these opinion pieces in every article is going to be in the description. The SEC is fighting the last war, right? We still got what XRP is going on. And by the way, XRP is fighting the SEC with 150 million. Binance is going to have 1 billion to bear to fight the SEC. Now, is that going to be enough? I don't know. But can Binance survive the SEC's charges? Yes or no? I want to get your opinion right now on the matter. If you don't know, I understand. I don't know everything in the world. I try to educate myself as much as possible. But let's see what happens. If you need my attention, at me or send a super chat. I already got Magic Lucky. It looks like we got bacon, eggs, and hash. You hit the nail on the head. They're going after the only ones that they're able to. Well, the top two exchanges, right? Because they're competitors to the U.S. government controlling the ecosystem. If they get those two out and the U.S. government inserts, copy pastes their own crypto exchange in there, they could control the market. And then they can start trying to push their influence internationally, which is going to be a problem. Dash is a masternode coin. Okay, Retro Mike, thank you so much for this. Dash is a masternode coin, expectation of profit. They could go after even masternode-based coins. Okay, that's something to keep an eye on. That's something to keep an eye on for sure. Solana, ADA, Matic token slide 20% in sudden move days after SEC lawsuit allegation. Now, I did multiple videos on this. And as soon as we found out about Coinbase, I did a video. I went live. As soon as we found out about Binance, or first it was Binance, and then one day later, Coinbase, and the whole market world just shuddered. Just shuddered. Like, I've never seen my bags drop so fast, even when FTX collapsed. I don't know how many times I need to say that. But again, the FTX, while it did bring down, the market as a whole, like this is the FTX collapse, right? No, that's March. Where did FTX collapse? November, I think it's November. Was it November? Hey, dang, when the hell did FTX? I've already forgot. See, I don't even think about them. When did FTX collapse? Yeah, November 2022. So November 2022. Let's just mark it from here to here. Right? That was a 25% drawdown. The SEC filing. And this is good news, though. This is good that the SEC's actions didn't have such a large impact. It's only 6.35% when we're looking at Bitcoin. But when we're talking about altcoins, that's a difference, right? Because you have thousands of these altcoins, right? Because it's not as valuable as Bitcoin, where it's 25K a pop. You got all these altcoins because you believe in the product, you believe in the devs, you believe in the fundamentals, and you believe that one day they will pop off. And then you can start taking profits or continue to participate in the ecosystem, right? You can vote with your contribution. You can vote to fork, you can vote to upgrade, you can vote to do this. You can participate in the crypto world of that ecosystem depending on which project we're talking about. That's why I like doing it. So I like to have these different assets so I could be a voice in that ecosystem, so I could participate, so I can have a say, and also obviously for the future, if the project does do well, because I'm still in Solana even though it's dropped down multiple times due to failures that they should have worked out or fixed. But I still want to be a part of it because I like what Solana is doing. I like what ADA's doing. I like what Matic's doing. But the SEC labels them securities, and exchanges may have done something stupid. You can see the deep drop. And so everybody's suffering. Now, XRP, if that court case can close, that would provide some clarity, or that would be a court, I don't know what they call it. They can reference it in further cases, in further lawsuits, court cases, whatever it might be. When that XRP court situation is done, they can reference it. If it's positive, obviously they can use it to help win. If it's negative, obviously the prosecutors can use it to say, you're a security and stuff like that. Was Lido stake Ether mentioned on the list, guys? I don't remember seeing that. But Lido stake ETH is on here. Okay, maybe they just took a copy of the crypto chart. I'm not sure why that's on there. I don't remember seeing Doge either. Hey, you better leave Doge alone, bro. Back off. As such, major tokens such as BNB, Doge, and XRP fell 11%. Bitcoin dropped 3.6%, and Ether slide 4.5%. Crypto track futures saw nearly 300 million in liquidations in early hours Saturdays. On Saturday, data from CoinGlass shows exceeding the 9-month record liquidation figures from earlier this week. Crypto liquidation refers to the process. We already know what it is. When was this taken? This was taken today. Okay. Yeah, I don't think Dogecoin was on that list. I don't think STETH was on that list. And I can see why they're going after STETH. And I think ETH, the Ethereum as a whole, by the way, is playing ball with the government. I hate to say it. So if the government wants Ethereum to omit so-and-so or stop so-and-so or block this address or do that, the Ethereum team will obviously comply. I think that's 100% so. We talked about why before, so follow the channel if you're not. Wall Street's top cop is determined to bring crypto to a heel. He took his big shot. He certainly did take his big shot. I don't really think it's the Wild West anymore, like the early days of crypto. I would say like 2014 to 2016, maybe early 2017 was the Wild West. It's not really the Wild West now, but the crypto exchanges are being the Wild West, right? Like they're the saloons where everybody goes to have a fight or, go to the brothel or whatever else. That's the Wild West, is the crypto exchanges, because these are large centralized entities that are taking in large amounts of funds, whether it's crypto or fiat, and, complying with whatever the user wants as far as an order and feeding the order books and completing those orders. But they also are able to do stuff that you can't see with your funds behind the scene. Basically, once you put your funds on the exchange, you no longer own those funds. So if they did go down or get liquidated or whatever, they can use those funds however they see fit, and then they file bankruptcy and you lose your funds. We've seen it with Celsius. We've seen it with Three Arrows Capital. We've seen it with a number of others. So, CZ, who kind of portrays himself as kind of like this golden example of crypto entrepreneurs that are just doing what they should for the crypto industry and space, that's why the SEC is not just going after Binance, but they're going after him. So it's Coinbase, Binance, and CZ. There's 3 things on this. We'll see what happens. I wonder if they were doing the exact same thing as FTX. Because it certainly sounds similar, but not quite all the way the same. Right? Because Binance doesn't have... They didn't make a coin out of thin air like the FTT token and then turn around and make that its primary holding. Their primary holding is Bitcoin, USDT, BNB, which is a token they made it, but it's only 13% of their reserves. And again, this is a proof of reserves, kind of, sort of, but isn't the proof of liquidity, or excuse me, liabilities. So we don't know what they're liable for. But what is that? $56 billion total. $1 billion going to fighting the SEC. They look like they got money, but hopefully they didn't screw up to a point to where the SEC's got them by the huevos. If some of my Spanish people that know what that means. Robinhood Market removes 3 crypto tokens. We knew this was coming. Anybody who listed the SEC, or anybody who list the tokens found on the SEC filing, obviously would delist it. If not, they need to register. They need to register if they're going to keep these tokens on. But it would be nice. I wouldn't expect the SEC to list every single token, because there's freaking 25,636 just on CoinMarketCap. Not all the cryptocurrencies are on CoinMarketCap, but all the ones that have been listed on CoinMarketCap, there's probably easily 30,000, 35,000 plus cryptocurrencies. I don't expect the SEC to do every single token. At least what I expect them to do is go through the top ones and say, no, this is a security. No, this is a commodity. No, this is a security. No, this is a commodity. Oh, this is just go through at least the first 100, damn it. Go to CoinMarketCap, have your team sit down for a couple of days and go through it. Tell everybody what's a security and what's a commodity, and then freaking let the exchanges do what they need to do to register as a broker, exchange. What is it? Lending house? What is it called? Oh my goodness. Coin Bureau. Help me out here, buddy. Help me out here, buddy. Where you at?
Before you even... The SEC has done it again.
Sorry, buddy. Gotta mute you.
Is listing cryptos that are classified as securities, and it must therefore register as a broker, exchange, or clearinghouse.
Thank you very much, Coin Bureau. Appreciate you very much. A broker, exchange, or clearinghouse. If you're going to have these tokens, those exchanges needed to do that. So Robinhood delist Solana, Cardano, and Polygon effective June 27th. So later this month. If you have any of those assets on there, get them off. But so are other exchanges doing the exact same thing. Right? And we just saw Gemini has some of these tokens like Polygon and Sand on there that the SEC is calling a security. So is Gemini going to wait to see how this court filing goes? That's going to take years. And if you leave it on there, then you could be brought into the suit as well. So it's better to just delist anything that the SEC has deemed a security and to step away. But that's going to harm the consumer. That's going to harm the individual, the retail investor, not the big guys, not the wealthy. That's going to harm the retail investors that are sitting there trying to accumulate. I mean, these tokens are what? Back in the day, 25 cents, 10 cents, 9 cents. Right? They hit $1 at one point in the past. We should have all took profits then, but we didn't. Because we were hoping that it would go back up higher than that. And now here we are. And the tokens are a lot less than where they used to be. I thought this was funny. Ben McKenzie says, wait, not that kind of regulatory clarity. Because we have been calling for regulatory clarity. Let's be real. We've been calling for it. I've been saying it multiple times. I would like the SEC and their leadership to sit down with these exchanges and work with them and obviously provide guidance in why they're calling XYZ a security. Why are they calling XYZ a commodities? And go, like I said, down a list and just make sure it's crystal clear. Instead of fining everybody and hitting everybody with a bat over the head, let everybody know. Now, if they're still doing stupid stuff, commingling funds, doing illicit activities, and all that illegal crap in the background like FTX was doing, so they're no better than FTX or Sam Bankman-Fried, then yeah, okay, go after them. But don't harm the consumer while trying to help the consumer. That's what I feel this is happening. It's like I'm getting punished, but they're trying to help me. It's for my own good as they're beating me over the head. Like, hang on a second. Why are you beating me on the head? What happened? Let me know first before you whip my ass. But yeah, very, very strange. Very strange times. But I expect Robinhood to delist stuff. And we definitely need clarity. Now, Crypto.com also suspends U.S. institutional exchange service. I'm just hearing this. Like, I don't have much on Crypto.com, but like, I gotta leave some for my card, right? My Crypto.com metal ruby card, because I wanted to be special. So stupid. I don't even know why I did it. But yeah, like, what the hell now? Let's see here. Crypto.com will no longer serve institutional clients in the United States after announcing a suspension of service on June 21st. Singapore-based cryptocurrency exchange cited limited demand for institutional customers as a primary reason for the move, which has been exacerbated by the testing prevailing market conditions. The statement from Crypto.com noted that the platform's institutional users were given advance notice of the decision to suspend the service. Crypto.com retail mobile application and platform remains fully operational in the United States. So, okay, we're good there. It's just the institutional side. American retail users still have access to cryptocurrency derivatives trading regulated by the Commodity Futures and Trading Commission, okay, the CFTC, as well as the exchange up-down options offering, which allows users to open a long or short trading position on the futures movements of various cryptocurrencies. Crypto.com remains open to potential relaunch of institutional exchange. So they were trying to work with large operations, businesses, maybe banks, stuff like that. They're shutting that down, closing it down, obviously, because the SEC is spooking everybody. The boogeyman's out, baby. And he's going to get every single person that he can. Why? Because that's, you know what? Question. I know not all of you are in the U.S. Wow, I got some energy today. I don't know what the heck. I had a fever yesterday. Maybe it did something to my brain. Crypto McKell made me sleep all day. I took, drank water. I had to work, obviously. I still got to work. Even unless I'm dead, I'm working. You know me. Yeah, so I drank a bunch of water, took some ibuprofen, sweated it out, fevered it out. And I don't know, man. I just got that spunk today. I do have, at 3 p.m. today, if you don't know, there's a video where me and Mr. Carter, Bisbee Trippin', I did a kind of like a sit-down talk with him about a couple things, not relative to what's popping and what's hot in the market right now, but a couple discussions that I wanted to have personally. I could sit there and talk to him for days, for hours, but if you want to check it out, it goes on at 3 p.m. after Rabid Mining, so stay tuned for that. Going back to the crypto market and Crypto.com, I mean, Crypto.com, Robinhood, Binance, Coinbase, I don't know. We're going to lose. If this wins, we're not going to have a U.S. exchange. Our U.S. exchange is going to be primarily the government, and I don't like that. And the question I was going to ask was related to, I know you guys aren't in the U.S., but does a U.S. citizen see any tax benefit, right? Because technically, the government runs off of our tax dollars. So this money that the SEC is winning, does that provide any type of benefit to the average consumer? Like, right, they're suing these companies, but we're not getting, like, I'm not going to get a check in the mail for whatever they win, right? So how does that, I don't know how that works. If you're an economist or you're in the government and you understand, hit me, drop me a line or tweet at me. When the SEC does win a big lawsuit, what happens to that money? What is that money used for? Is that used to just fund their agency or various government entities so that the taxpayers don't have to pay so much? Or do the taxpayers see any benefit out of the SEC or the CFTC or anybody winning a suit and getting millions, if not billions of dollars? That's my question. Now, earlier this week, because on top of all this craziness with the SEC, Coinbase, and various centralized exchanges, I have been seeing nothing but scams pop up in the crypto industry, especially on crypto Twitter. And I've been warning about it, and I've been trying to do my best to warn about it, but I am a small crypto tuber. I am a crypto miner, primarily a tech guy first. Tech and crypto miner, YouTuber. Not a crypto tuber, right? A crypto YouTuber is somebody that, like, Altcoin Daily, Crypto Wendio, Crypto Zombie, Ben, you know who I'm talking about. Anyways, I can only reach a small amount of people. Unless you guys retweet what I'm trying to warn people about, I can't reach anybody. These people have been stealing prominent crypto Twitter accounts and then getting people to fall for tricks. Hey, airdrop this. Hey, airdrop that. Hey, do this. If you do this, you're going to be able to get millions of dollars, or, a percentage of whatever I win, or blah, 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 blah. And people continue to fall for it. I reported this to Chump Change, who was going live at the time when this was fresh. And Zach XBT outlined everything. Follow him for more information and up to date on possible scams. Even the Atomic Wallet situation. And then people were getting scammed because they were falling for, hey, we can help you recover your funds bullshit. And so it's like scam on top of scam. It's like, geez Louise, man, what the heck? So over the past week, scammers have been hijacking over 8 Twitter accounts of prominent figures in the crypto space to promote phishing scams. The group has stolen over 1 million worth of crypto so far, according to blockchain sleuth Zach XBT. In a June 9th Twitter thread, Zach XBT outlined that he had uncovered several linked on-chain wallets, which I've been doing some chain analysis myself, and I've been chatting or tweeting at him, throwing little bits of information. He's obviously doing all the hard work, but I've been following. I'm like, geez Louise, and I think I shared it with some of y'all. I think I shared some of it, maybe not publicly, but privately, as to like, whoa, man, look at this account. This guy drained this and that, and it's just absolutely nuts. While the majority of these attacks were the result of a SIM swap, right? So SIM swapping is where I go to AT&T, Verizon, or whoever supports SIM, because not everybody supports SIM. And I get them to program a SIM card, or I get them to, update my phone to have your phone number. That way, because Twitter uses recovery options with SMS, I can log in, forgot password, get the password sent via text, log in, and do what I need to. And obviously, maybe add 2FA or whatever to lock you out so you can't get back into it once I change the password. So they SIM swap, they get control of these accounts, and then they go on posting about it. Now, here's an actual chart that they drew up. Various, so Andy 8052 SIM swap, right? We have that. OpenAI CTO was one. Jim Banco was another. Peter Schiff was another. Steve Aka was another. Cole Ethereum and Rizzo SIM swap was another. Like, absolutely nuts. And just funds are just going around. Peter Schiff was the funniest one to me, because this is just gonna put a bad taste in his mouth, and this gold bug is definitely gonna be like, bro, why? This is why I hate crypto, because there's nothing but scams and cheats. And Twitter does need to do something about this. Let's go ahead and retweet this. And make sure that Twitter, safety where safety. Let's get Twitter on here. And I'm going to go ahead and tag Elon Musk, even though I don't matter worth a damn to him. Eliminate. Protect. Twitter users. It's just sad, because some of these people, like, that's their life savings, man. That's everything that they saved up. I've actually, so the Dynex one got me, because I wanted to get the code. I used a different wallet that's not my main wallet, but that wallet still had funds on it, because I didn't look at all the other assets underneath of it. I just looked at, did it have ETH on it? No. Okay, cool. And it just basically, once you connect, it scans and grabs everything. The Atomic wallet, completely different scenario. There was an exploit. They exploited it, and they were able to get a bunch of funds. So I hope if you were impacted, I apologize. Try to do the best. I try to keep everything spread on different devices, right? So I got the Safe Power wallet. I do have the old school, the OG ledger, which again, if you don't update or do anything like that, you're good to go there. Don't sign up for the recovery thing. I got the Keystone. I've been wanting Engrave to hit me up. Engrave team, I've been asking for a wallet. Hit me up. You know how to find me. I'll tweet at you again. Maybe you'll listen this time. And what else was a good crypto wallet that I liked? Tangem. Tangem was another one. So I like to keep my weight. Again, I'm diversified in various things, not just crypto, but also in traditional finance. I'm diversified across the board. I got my weight spread out, so if one sector goes down, the other sector's still good. I still got funds. And I'm spread as far as where I'm storing, how I'm storing my assets and my fiat securely. I'm still broke as hell, but I'm trying to do what I can for the future of my family. Like, if I sell everything now, what? I can go buy a nice little car and be debt free for a couple months. But no, dude, then I don't have anything for the future when I can't work, when I'm not able to work physically or mentally. Like, I don't want to work the rest of my life. I seen my mom work her ass off all of her life. All of her life. And my dad, before he passed away in 1996, working so hard day in and day out. And then not to have anything after retirement. My dad worked so hard. Went to Vietnam, worked for on the Queen Elizabeth II, the Cunard shipping thing. And then when my dad passed away, my mom got basically all or nothing after all that from his retirement. Like, really? So I don't want to go through that. And I don't count on Social Security to be there. So crypto and diversifying myself in various assets is the best way for me to protect myself and my family. To provide for my wife and my kids. So yeah, be careful of these scams out there. It sucks that some people lost all their life savings. Meanwhile, founders of Three Arrows Capital and failed crypto fund are living large. Now, I'm not paying for this. This is the New York Times. I'm not paying for this shit. But you can see here, they're down in Bali. They're having a good old time. While everybody else is getting wrecked. Bunch of bullshit. Just be smart, guys. Keep your head down. Keep your head down, but keep it on a swivel. Identify your convictions and stay strong. Do not trade with emotion. If you believe in the project because you believe in the fundamentals or believe in XYZ, then continue to support it. Buy the dip. If you have the funds to do so, don't do it because I'm saying it. It's not financial advice. But if you believe in Cardano, it's 25 cents. That's a good deal. You think it's going to still be around regardless if it's registered security or not. Buy the dip. Maybe we might fall a little bit further. If Bitcoin takes a hit right now, we could easily see 21K, 21.5 or something like that, somewhere in that range. But I'm going to relax. I'm not going to FUD in. I'm going to play some Diablo 4. And I'm going to go out with the wife and have a good time tonight. Stop focusing on the charts. Stop worrying about crypto Twitter. Live your life. Proof of work, guys. Hash away, baby. Just hash away. Stack them sats. Do the best you can. Try to keep your profile, your footprint, as far as the online world, kind of minimize. Not saying ghost the world, but just keep it, nobody needs to know about it. When you start cashing it out into off-ramps and on-ramps, the government's definitely going to need to know about it and then pay your taxes. But they don't need to know about they don't need to know what hand you wipe your ass with. They don't need to know why you cried the other day. They don't need to know what you bought your wife. Like, I know they want to know. They don't need to know. So just keep your footprint low. There are ways to do that. And pay your taxes. Don't make a lot of noise, and people won't go looking. So don't make a lot of noise. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and watch this for the last 10 minutes of the stream. If you have any questions, please at me or send a super chat. And then we'll wrap up with my usual ending, the whole like and subscribe stuff. But I appreciate you guys coming and hang out. And let's listen to Crypto World.
Today, Binance's U.S. arm announces a shutdown of USD transfers amid its battle with the SEC. Developers behind Cardano dismissed the SEC's claim that the ADA token is a security. And we asked Josh Frank of The Tie why some crypto tokens are holding steady amid the U.S. regulatory crackdown. Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Tanea McKeel. Digital currencies are mostly flat to close out a rocky week for the crypto industry here in the States. By noon Eastern, Bitcoin traded at $26,500 and Ether traded at $1,840. Cardano's ADA token, however, sank by 6%. Despite the turmoil for big crypto exchanges like Binance, which we'll update you on in just a moment, the Bitcoin price managed to lose 2.3% of its value in the past week. Ether fell about 2.5%, and compare that to some altcoins like Binance's BNB token, it cratered 14%, while Cardano tumbled 17%, and Solana dropped more than 11.5%. Okay, let's catch you up on the top stories. First, Binance US announced they will no longer accommodate US dollar deposits and withdrawals starting June 13th. In a statement on Twitter, the firm claimed their banking partners plan to, quote, pause USD fiat channels, prompting the transition to a crypto-only exchange that uses stablecoins for transactions instead. The statement also reassured the safety of customer assets, reiterating Binance US holds a 1-to-1 reserve. This comes the same week the SEC hit the exchange with 13 charges, including allegedly commingling customer funds, misleading investors, and operating as an unregistered exchange. The agency also filed a temporary emergency freezing order on the exchange's U.S. assets. The company suggested it would consider restarting U.S. dollar transfers if it can find more stable banking partners. Next, the developer of Cardano is dismissing claims from the SEC that the ADA token is a security. In the SEC's lawsuit against Binance and Coinbase, the agency asserted that Cardano's ADA was among the tokens listed on these exchanges that should be listed as a security. Input Output Global put out a statement responding to the claim, arguing that the filing contained numerous factual inaccuracies and that under no circumstances is ADA a security under U.S. securities law. At the same time, SEC Chair Gary Gensler is marching ahead with his criticism of the crypto industry. Reuters reported that while speaking at a Piper Sandler conference in New York, Gensler claimed the vast majority of tokens meet the test for being a security. He said not to believe crypto businesses who claim they didn't get fair notice of enforcement actions, and that those same companies may have assumed the risk of enforcement action as the cost of doing business. Finally, as the FTX bankruptcy moves forward, the judge overseeing the case says U.S. courts should have full control over the company's recovered assets. According to Reuters, Judge John Dorsey said in a hearing on Thursday that the U.S. courts shouldn't defer to Bahamian courts over issues like repaying customers. Dorsey said he would retain authority over the $7.3 billion in recovered assets from the debtors. Reuters also reported that a Bahamian court ruling would clarify the responsibilities for both U.S. and Bahamian liquidators. All right, let's talk more about markets for our main story. We told you earlier about how resilient the price of some tokens, like Bitcoin and Ether, have been this week despite the SEC charges against two major exchanges.
And that's true. That's true. I've seen Bitcoin and Ethereum be very resilient. Again, the SEC filings did not affect them, but I also think a lot of people were just converting their assets that were on those filings to Bitcoin or to Ethereum. And Ethereum gas was jumped up pretty high this week as people were converting and transitioning or moving their funds from XYZ to A, B, and C. But yeah, Bitcoin and Ethereum were resilient. That's good that, again, we don't want the influencers, the Elon Musk of the world. And no disrespect, Mr. Musk. Just some of the shit you do is stupid. But, you know, when he was tweeting out stuff and it would just move the market, that was just pissing me off. Like, you should not, no one person should have that much influence over an asset class. Let's just call it an asset class. And so when the government did what they did, or the SEC did what they did, you know, it's basically saying the U.S. has a strong stance against crypto. And you're seeing that. And there's only a handful of people, as you will hear me and BBT, Mr. Carter, talk about later on today at 3 p.m. is... and by the way, that's mostly a listen. So if you're doing any work, just listen. You don't have to watch. It's just us two guys talking, chatting it up. Again, I could talk to him for hours, but when that stance was taken, that's sending a message to the rest of the industry throughout the world, not just the U.S., throughout the world, which is why the EU is kind of leading the way right now with its Mika filing, and then China's stepping in the game and saying, no, we don't want mining, but we'll accept the crypto world. Come on, come here. And he who controls the crypto world or has majority of it will be the one economic power in the world. So we'll see if the U.S. can stand up strong again. But it's 12 o'clock. Is anybody else going live or about to be 12 o'clock? Is anybody going live? Nobody's going live? iPolo makes mining GPUs. Oh, that's the new device? Interesting. Tom Crown is live. I don't see Red Panda Mining live right now. Is Red Panda Mining not going live today? Looks not. So we just got Rabid Mining maybe coming on after me at 1 p.m. Yes. Rabid Mining today at 1 p.m. Other than that, stay tuned for the 3 p.m. Launch. Let's see if I even have it showing as scheduled. It is scheduled. Let me change it to a premiere. Hang on one second. I'll continue playing this while I work, and we'll hang out for a little bit more. If you guys got any questions, please send me a super chat or at me real quick. We're just going to listen to this and then wrap up going into 12 o'clock because Red Panda Mining is not live at this very second. So we're just going to keep on rocking and rolling for a little bit longer. I don't know if I could go to 1 o'clock, but we'll keep rocking and rolling for a little bit longer, okay?
But what's helping to fuel that resiliency, and can the trend continue as the SEC's crackdown heats up? Crypto World's Jordan Smith spoke to Josh Frank of The Tie for insight.
So Ether has performed relatively well this week in the wake of the SEC lawsuits. It's not as down as some of its so-called competitors. Do you expect that action to continue for Ethereum? Do you think that this is positive news for that network? Is there a longer-term benefit to its price as some of these other tokens are scrutinized for potentially being securities?
I don't think it's a good thing. I don't think the SEC coming out against Coinbase and Binance. Binance, I think they're different. I think we need to separate out the fact that they are very different because the things that are being alleged are totally different. In the Coinbase case, it is a real argument and discussion where Coinbase is saying, hey, look, we don't have any guidance as to whether or not these things are securities. This is just regulation by enforcement. We've been trying to, proactively work with you for years and years and years. Whereas the Binance.
And I understand that. On Coinbase's side, I think Coinbase has got a strong case, not suit, because they have been trying since 2012 to work within the confines provided by the United States. However, Binance is a completely different story. So don't mix Coinbase and Binance's cases into the same bag. They're two different things, two different situations. Obviously, those cryptocurrencies are listed as a security. So again, those exchanges should have registered as a broker, whatever Coin Bureau said, the three things. I keep forgetting a lending, oh my gosh. I can't remember the three terms that I just read off to y'all in Coin Bureau, but they needed to register is basically what it boils down to. Binance is a completely different animal as far as the SEC goes.
Binance case is alleging things like what happened in FTX, where Binance is funneling money and trading it themselves and doing all these other things, right? So I don't think, the fact that the largest exchange in crypto, Binance, which at one point had about 90% market share, that's not a great thing for crypto overall. I think Ethereum has outperformed for a few reasons, right? I think one of the reasons is it's not one of the things mentioned as a security in the lawsuit. It's also one of the CFTC has come out and said they believe that Ethereum is a commodity, and so even between the CFTC and the SEC, there's not necessarily agreement, or there's certainly not agreement in terms of how they view these assets. But I think broadly speaking, Bitcoin and Ethereum, I think there's confidence in the market that those assets are here to stay. Right, Ethereum has real usage. It has users. People are building networks on top of Ethereum, building applications on top of Ethereum. I don't think there's any sort of. I think what's different about crypto this time versus a lot of the bear markets we had in the past, I think there's confidence in the market that crypto is here to stay, and Ethereum is one of those assets. Right, this might be a setback, but it doesn't mean that crypto is dead. But I think if you look at the market broadly, I mean, everything is held up decently well that wasn't mentioned as a security in one of those lawsuits. So if you look, I'm looking over the last 7 days, Polygon, I think was mentioned, maybe down 15%, Solana down 12%, Cosmos down 12%. You had Robinhood say that they were going to delist some of those assets today. And so kind of broadly, things outside of those buckets that were mentioned directly as securities have held up decently well. One thing that I found to be relatively interesting is OKB, which is OKX's exchange token, is also actually outperforming Ethereum. It's only basically underperforming Bitcoin. And we've seen a lot of volume on OKX in the wake of what's happened with Binance. I think as traders offshore look for other venues to execute on.
That's what I thought. Crypto mining technology says Ethereum is definitely a security. That's what I thought. But I wondered they didn't, again, because maybe Ethereum is done their bidding before, the U.S. government's bidding before, when it came to Tornado Cash and censoring certain things and addresses, participating in the swapping or mixing of funds and stuff like that, that maybe they didn't go after them because they're on their side or they would comply with the U.S. But if the SEC did list Ethereum as a security and go after Ethereum, I think that would have destroyed the crypto market quite significantly, even more than it did recently. Even though it's only 6.5% compared to FTX's 25%, the altcoins are really reeling in pain because of this. Because even when Bitcoin went to those lows, those altcoins were still kind of sustaining. They weren't as high as they could have been, but they were kind of sustaining. And now the altcoins that are listed are taking a huge hit. Could we see Cardano go down to 10 cents again? Could we see Polygon go down to what was it, 40 cents? Let's see what Polygon's at right now. Wow, Polygon fell out of the top 10. And what sucks too is Polygon's transactions on net were dropping. Like, not too many people are participating on Polygon. And I'm almost concerned that there won't be liquidity by the time I'm ready to exchange, whether it's the bridge or swap to on that ecosystem, because of this, plus the increase or decrease of net transactions on Polygon Matic. I think they'll be fine, but I'm just saying, like, this doesn't help me. It might help future investors. It just doesn't help me now. I feel like, again, I'm getting beat up in the process of them trying to protect me. But I don't know. You guys let me know your thoughts. You guys voted on the poll. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and end that poll right now. What do we got here? So, can Binance survive the SEC's charges? 62% says yes. 23% says I don't know. And 13% says no. I'm probably going to go live with that, but it looks like most of you say yes, they can survive. And hopefully they can, because if we lose the number one exchange, regardless if it's in the U.S. or not, if we lose, if the world loses the number one crypto exchange, we could be in deep trouble. So, but let's end it there, guys. The stream is delayed. It looks like quite a few seconds behind from when actual is playing for you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. I thank you so much for stopping by, and it's good to see you all. Nerd Beast, Cundy Bits, thank you. I'll continue to chat with some of y'all offline. I will be on Diablo, but I don't usually stream it. And then stay tuned for that 3 p.m. release of our conversation with Bits Be Trippin'. I'm going to tweet it out. Please add it, like it, retweet it, whatever you can do to get some air. Mr. Carter's base, I guess you could say subscriber base, does not match his expertise, knowledge, and presence in this cryptocurrency ecosystem, right? Crypto mining came before all this crypto craziness. Mining is what got it to where it is today. Mining is what made it what it is today. And respect should be paid to the miners who helped propped up the network before it blew up into this crazy world we live in of Web3, NFTs, scam, phishing, centralized exchanges, DEXs, DeFi. It's a wonderful world. It just needs good people at the top to manage it correctly and not use it inappropriately or for illegal or illicit activities, and we'll be just fine. We just need those people to comply with whatever the international or state or country laws are for that specific region, wherever they're deploying, and everything will be okay. If it's regulated properly, we'll flourish. If it's not regulated properly, they might stifle innovation in this ecosystem. But blockchain, I know for a fact, is here to stay. Maybe not all cryptos. Blockchain itself is here to stay. But that's going to do it for today's stream. Please do me a favor on the way out. Hit the like button. Make sure to get subscribed. Hit the notification bell to stay up to date, as well as check out some of the links in the description to help support the channel and what we do here. Today's stream was brought to you by jinglemining.com. Make sure you check them out if you're looking for the Jazz Miner X16 or X4 or whatever it might be. Just check them out. Link is in the description. Also, some of the articles that we talked about in the stream are down there. I didn't read it to you. I just kind of expressed my own opinions and thoughts. None of this was financial advice, but just keep your head down, keep it on a swivel, keep stacking the sats, and good luck to you. All right? That's all I can say. I'll leave you with a couple other sponsor spots, and you just take care. See you.
Introducing the Octominer OctoTank 12 Home Immersion Cooling System, the future of cryptocurrency mining and home heating. Quiet, cool, and efficient. The OctoTank 12 allows you to overclock your ASIC miners up to 70% to get more performance for your money. Compatible with up to 2 ASICs. Fully plug-and-play system. The immersion system ensures that your miners stay cool. Perfect for garage or basement heating. Up to 150 square meters of heating capacity. Clean and minimalist design. Fully weatherproof. Designed to last for years. Save money while keeping your home warm and cozy this winter. Order yours now.
As a crypto miner, you know you want your equipment to be high quality. Proper cable management is part of your mining rig, and the Veteran Miner has you covered. The Veteran Miner cables are created with the best materials to ensure they are of the highest quality. Our cables are made of 16-gauge tin copper, ensuring another layer of protection from oxidation and corrosion. We support our products with a 100% guarantee. Visit our website at www.theveteranminer.com and get the best cables for your mining setup.